Good morning, guys. It's your boy Ben Mahari here, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Salute to the entire LDBC. Salute to the greater boxing community. Boy, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. I'm telling you that right now. All right. So let's get down to it because Drill Boxing Talk is going to start in 15 minutes. Kevin Stenhouse, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? So, major news that came out yesterday. The WBC announced that they're going to give the franchise championship to, you know who, Mr. White Hype himself, Vasyl Lomachenko. Okay. So therefore, his 135-pound championship, he is going to surrender that belt to the mandatory challenger, Devin Haney. Now, it is now given the opportunity for all the other all actually I should let me rephrase that. It's now going to give the opportunity for Vasyl Lomachenko to duck any challenger that he sees at this point. Okay. Now, what we're requesting is for Vasyl Lomachenko to fight Devin Haney. Okay. But now that he's now the franchise champion, now the WBC has given him a free pass to Doug Haney, to Doug Davis, to Doug Teo, to Doug all the tough fighters in 135. And to top it all that, he also has made statements that he's going to plan on moving down back to 130. Okay? So the thing is this, man. I am absolutely disgusted by this, but when I really think about it, I'm not too surprised by it at all. Okay? Ever since the WBC created this franchise championship and awarded to Canelo Alvarez, you're seeing who they are awarding these kind of statuses to. Okay? It's no secret to anybody that the WBC is playing protection plans against certain fighters that they want to protect. All right? Because I can name a couple of fighters off the top of my head right now that do deserve the franchise tag. Okay? And I call it a franchise tag because that's essentially what it is. It's not a legitimate championship at all. You can't lose it. So the only thing that I know of off the bat about the WBC franchise tag is, I should say franchise championship, but I'm calling it franchise tag because this is basically what it is. It's basically a award recognition for their status in the sport. Now, that's a casual perspective. So hopefully I can try to get some research in to try to figure out what it really means. But this is absolutely disgraceful. We've had a very bad week in the world of boxing, okay? You know, Tyson Fury acting the fool in WWE, ducking the rematch with Wilder and him tampering his gloves there as well, okay? And then you got Oscar De La Hoya, you know, being filed a lawsuit for sexual assault and criminal battery on another woman, okay? And then you got Sergey Kovalev with his crimes. I mean, this has been a real bad week in boxing, okay? Now, there are some good fights this weekend that I can't wait, which is Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor, okay? And we're going to discuss about it on Saturday. But I'm telling you right now, I am very, very disgusted by this. I'm really am, all right? I never really respected Lomachenko personally because he looked like a guy that was going to duck a lot of the top fighters he faced against because he never avenged the loss to Orlando Salido. He never gave a rematch to Gary Russell Jr., okay? And he never gave a rematch to Guillermo Rigondeaux. You understand? And he beat against a Nicholas Walters who got starved out by Top Rank to try to, you know, go in there to try to get some more money out of it because he wanted to get paid. And he wasn't. And they starved him out and forced him into the match with Lomachenko, overweight, and was not prepared for it. All right. So, in all honesty, bro, this is horrifying. And also another thing too. The fact that that Ring Magazine can name him the number one pound for pound fighter in the sport after only 14 fights is a complete joke. All right. There is no way in hell that Vasyl Lomachenko is the number one pound for pound fighter in the sport. And you not even had any 20 plus fights to your career. So how is it that you listen, when you look at his career, every fight has been a championship fight. He's never had a career defining fight. All right. He hasn't even had 20 plus fights to his name. All right. And the fact is, I don't care about the disputed record at all. The guy's had only 14 fights. All right. And Luke Campbell openly ducked Devin Haney for that WBC belt and went after Lomachenko. So honestly, man, Lomachenko is an overrated hype job that they want to shove to us. And listen, the time is now for where we have to start defending and protecting our black fighters. Because the fact is, the sanctioning bodies are favoring other races. We got to defend our own. All right. So from this point forward, I am not going to protest for any fights between black fighters at this point, because if Triple G and Canelo are giving those kind of sizes, go in there, Canelo or Lomachenko, and fight those guys. All right. Fight Demetrius Andrew, Jamal Charlo. And for Lomachenko, fight Tank Davis, fight Devin Haney. All right. It's absolutely disgusting that what we're seeing in boxing. But this is the kind of stuff that we're seeing now. All right. They're trying to trick the casual fans into supporting these kind of fighters when they don't actually really deserve it. All right. These guys that I labeled, both Canelo Alvarez, all right, at least Canelo Alvarez has faced against some opposition, but he's been ducking his fighters at 160 to 154, and now he's going up to 175 and facing against Sergey Kovalev. And when you look at the weigh-in, he looked a little juice up there too, but there won't be drug testing in that. So listen, the time is now to stop recognizing those guys to what they are. All right, and the fact that the old boxing media is not reporting about this shows the favoritism and shows that they're willing to be fooled by these people that want to, accept these guys as higher statuses, while all the other fighters are basically working their tails off and have to do twice as much to get their recognition. And I have a problem with that. I have a huge problem with it. Understand? So I wanted to get on here and then express my viewpoints on this. I'm very disgusted by it. Brooklyn Child, what's going on there, brother? Oh yeah, absolutely. Your live stream is great though, bro. So anybody that hasn't subscribed to Brooklyn Child Boxing, go ahead and check it out there, bro. Dude and Act Reacher had a great debate last night. I loved every single minute of it. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get in there and add my 2 cents into the mix, because I really hate this. I can't wait for Trill Boxing Start that's going to start in 10 minutes. I can't wait to see what Black Fight Fan TV's got to say about this. Y'all know that he's a huge fan of Vasyl Lomachenko, and he's always been a guy that always defends and stands up for Lomachenko, which is fine. No problem with that. But now that the news came out about this yesterday, and in fact, let me tell you this. I was on BFTV's live stream, okay, in the chat, and I was with them during his live stream when the news came out, okay? Now and when the news came out, everybody was shocked. Everybody was shocked, but at the same time, not too surprised about it. But at the same time, you only got the belt only after one fight, all right? And somehow, some way, you got the franchise tag, and you haven't even defended your WBC belt even for one fight. I don't understand this at all. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? So we, at this point right now, BFTV said that he hopes that Vasyl Lomachenko does not duck Devin Haney. I'm sorry to say, bro, with all due respect, I don't see Lomachenko fighting Devin Haney anytime soon. I don't see that at all. I think his team is going to try to, avoid Devin Haney, Tank Davis, and Teofimo Lopez at all costs to try to protect what they have. And the bottom line is this. He said, Brooklyn Child Boxing said, I like Loma as well, but Top Rank and ESPN and now the WBC are tarnishing his name. Exactly. And you know what the sickening part is? The guy is not even a pay-per-view star, and they're giving him all sorts of this recognition for what? He hasn't drawn a million pay-per-views. He's not a pay-per-view star. He doesn't draw $1 million in checks. All right. The guy is not a known fighter in the mainstream boxing scene. And they're trying to force feed this over guys like Earl Spence Jr., Terrence Crawford, who've done a lot more in the sport. Get out of here with that, man. I'm really disgusted about boxing. All right. I'm really am. And I'm gonna say this uncut. Boxing can kiss my ass right now. You understand me? Literally. I'm tired of these people in boxing trying to force feed these kind of people down our throats and trying to make them support their fighters that they want to support without truly earning their stripes. And that I have a problem with. I really do. So that's how I feel about it, man. So I wanted to, add my 2 cents into the mix, and True Boxing starts going to start in 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead, and wrap and just going to shut it down for now. But tonight on my uncut version of my discussion tonight, we're going to discuss about how the NBA favors freedom of speech over the NFL, and I'm going to explain to you why. That's right, Brooklyn Child Boxing. Loma only had one WBC sanctioned fight, exactly, against Luke Campbell. All right, a guy that also ducked Devin Haney. Okay, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds and how ridiculous that looks? I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Robert Stewart, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm almost getting ready to wrap this up because True Boxing is going to start in the next 7 to 7 minutes. But this has really been a disgusting week in boxing. All right, and on Boxing Talk on Saturday morning, I'm going to discuss to you guys my top 10 pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. Now, if you guys looked at the Ring Magazine list, it is disgusting. But I'm going to leave it to you guys to check out that list because what I saw on the list yesterday, man, I wanted to rip somebody's head off because there are a lot of names on that list that do not belong in the pound-for-pound list. And there are some lanes that were left out there too. You understand? So I'm going to leave that up to you guys to check it out. But this Saturday, I'm going to get into my discussion of the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters from my perspective there too. And unfortunately, it can't include heavyweight because heavyweight is a top division in boxing. So I'm going on the old school rules with the old school rules of the pound per pound list. Brooklyn Child Bound saying, I will tune in tonight, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Come by and stop by. Robert Stewart says, nobody wants it with Black Jesus. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't wait for Black Fight Fan TV's response to this. I can't wait, man. I'm going to tell you right now, if he says anything out of line, I'm going to drill him. I'm going to drill him so hard, bro, because this is absolute disgust. How is it that this guy earned a franchise tag and only had one fight with the WBC? I don't understand it. I literally don't. But I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. True Boxing Talk is going to start in 5 minutes, though. Let's go in there and let's show some major love to Black Fight Fan TV. And let's go in there and give him all the hell that he's going to get on Lomachenko. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down there for now, guys. But I'll see y'all tonight. Meet me on my channel, 9 p.m. Central Time for Uncut Talk. We're going to go in about the NBA and the NFL comparison about free speech. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So Brooklyn Child Boxing said, do a pound per pound after Regis and Josh Taylor. Whoever wins that fight should be considered. Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea, Brooklyn Child. That's a really good idea. You know what? I might do that. I might save that pound per pound list after the fight. And let's see. And I'm going to try to make my analysis with that. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down ASAP Rocky. So let's go in there and check out True Boxing Talk in the next 4 minutes. But this is Abil Mahari, representing Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Salute to the entire LDBC. And I'll see y'all tonight.